Hi there! Welcome to Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. Off to a weird start already. I'm your host, Joshua Conkle.
And I'm your waterlogged co-host, Drusilla Adeline. Josh is feeling super punchy. This is going to be a fun episode.
Oh boy, how are you? What's going on?
I'm pretty good.
Great.
Things have been going on in my life. I was going through a tough time. Previously, I have come out the other side of it, and I can now announce that I have left my employment at Grandson Creative. I've left my agency. I am now employed at a different agency. I just am about to, and I'm going to be starting in a little bit at P&A, a different agency in Los Angeles, and I'm very, very, very excited about that.
That's huge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you.
P&A is great. They've done a lot of incredible poster work over the years, including The Lighthouse.
Ooh!
And Emma, and Moonrise Kingdom, and a lot of incredible shit. So I am... And Raw! They did Julia Ducournau's Raw.
Ooh, cool.
So the team over there is super, super, super awesome, and I am over the moon to be changing shops and getting my teeth into a new team to work with.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and the money doesn't help either.
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty great. How are you, Josh? What's been going on?
Oh, strike stuff. Today, when I woke up, I discovered that the DGA, which is the Directors Guild, has made a deal with the companies, which is bad for writers. They're such a pussy union. They've never struck, and they always do this to us, where they make a deal really quickly and kneecap writers and actors. But the fight continues. I mean, they did get historic gains on their deal, which in part is because writers are striking, so it gave them leverage. So that's not good news, I don't think. But the fight continues. Maybe the actors have more chutzpah than the directors do. We'll see. But yeah. So that stuff is what's happening for me.
Yeah, I was at the strike this past week at Warner Brothers. I was on the picket line for the all queer pride picket over at Warner Brothers. It was incredible. I ran into so many friends of ours, friends of the show, and queer horror icons. Darren Stein was there, the director of Jawbreaker. I ran into Jeffrey Reddick, the creator of Final Destination.
He was with Kevin Williamson. I saw from his Instagram.
Yeah. And as I was leaving, we ran into J. August Richards. From Angel and Buffy. Who played Gunn, who only recently came out a few years ago. And it put such a huge smile on my face. There were so many people out there, and we got there late in the day. Yeah. It was incredible. People have been showing up and showing out, and we're, over a month deep.
Yeah.
The momentum is not stopped. We just finished
5 week. Listen, the Writers Guild does not play. I mean, they are so hardcore and militaristic, which is great because they make gains for every union because they're so, they don't fuck around. There was also a horror writers picket activity at Warner Brothers this past week, which I didn't go to either because I just was not in the mental place to really handle it, frankly. But I'm really sad now that I didn't go because literally everyone in horror was there, it looked like. So I'm bummed to have missed that. I did get to go to something really cool though, which is that I went to an anniversary screening of a movie that we both love, I know. And the star was there. It was outdoors at Griffith Park. And it was the anniversary screening of Ghost World with Thora Birch in person. And it was so good. And Thora Birch, I think, was under the influence of something. She didn't make a lot of sense.
Nice.
But she gave a very brief speech before the movie. And then I've seen that movie so many times. It's like definitely in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think it's like the closest to my sense of humor probably ever. Besides Heather's, maybe, both of which are just like savagely mean movies. But we went with my boyfriend's coworker who's like really young. She's like 24 and she hadn't seen the movie. And it was really interesting to watch that movie in public for the first time all these years later, because there's all these lines that people I could tell did not think were funny. Like the part where there's like a girl flirting with a popular boy at their school, and then they're like, "Oh, she better watch out, or she's gonna get AIDS when he date rapes her."
Yeah,
that line to me is so savage and funny, but it like went over like a lead balloon. But the movie's just still so good, and it was just such a treat to see on the big screen for the first time. And Ileana Douglas as that art teacher is like,
she's so
chef's
fucking
kiss.
good.
Everything about it is just so good. Bob Balaban, Terry
I love the
Garr.
short film that she shows to the class.
Mirror, Father, Mirror.
Yeah, that was called Mirror, Father, Mirror, and I like to show it to everyone so they can get a picture of who I am as a person.
Yeah. And then I noticed this for the first time, I guess because it's on the big screen. She pauses the film at the end at the credits, and the credits you can see if you look closely. Her character's name is Roberta Allsworth. It says paid for by thanks to charitable donations from Mr. and Mrs. Allsworth.
Yeah.
And the Foundation for Middle-Aged Artists. It's like so mean-spirited.
God, I
so
love
funny.
that movie, but I can only watch it once every few years.
It's quite sad, actually.
It's
it gets
very
quite dark.
sad.
Yeah.
I saw it last year at the New Beverly. They did a double feature of Steve Buscemi movies, and that was the A picture. And it starts out so fun, and it gets so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Though I think the final shot at the ending of that movie is very beautiful and very cathartic, but it, especially as someone who like was kind of that character as a
Me
teenager.
too. That's exactly who I was.
And who was totally aimless. But thought I was on my path. As like coming back, 10 years later as an adult and look back is rough.
Yeah.
Because you also like, you hate what she's doing, but you also sympathize with her so much because you know why she's doing it and how much she's hurting. But the B picture when I saw it there was Airheads, which is the opposite. It's just like a dumb fun movie the entire time. So it's like, it feels like if you went to go see The Seventh Seal and you're like, oh my god, Ingmar Bergman, this is depressing. And then the second movie was like Step Brothers.
Or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or whatever, because it has that same character.
Yeah,
from
Bogus Journey,
Yeah, Bogus Journey, yeah. That's a great double feature.
That's a great double feature. That, I mean, like, it's great because it like, makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then lifts you right back up. So that happened to me this past week because I watched the season and actually series finale of Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
This week, which let's just say they end the episode on a Cat Stevens song.
Oh no! Cry.
I have not cried that hard since the last time I watched Philadelphia.
Anytime I hear a Cat Stevens song, especially if it's one of the ones from Harold and Maude, I'm like, waterworks.
It is, and it's the Cat Stevens song that hits me the hardest too, and like, it was really, really good. I love that show so very much. I know it's not your cup of tea.
I like that show. I watched the third season. I just haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay. It's very saccharine. It's very sweet. It's very earnest. But I think it's delightful. And I want more from the characters. I want to see more of them.
And you won't.
But
because it's over.
But I do feel like as a series finale, they did it right. And it's no surprise because, again, it's from the creator of Scrubs, and the series finale of Scrubs was incredible. Until they came back for another season where they are teachers at college for some reason.
Oh, weird.
So it would be nice to see season 4 of Ted Lasso, where now Jamie Tart and Rory Kent are teaching football at Kent State or something like that.
I was excited to watch Nate's like villain era. That's how they ended season 2, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm excited for that."
But we only get a little bit of his villain era in season 3. It's predominantly Nate redemption arc.
Oh,
I know. I watched the whole season with my partner, and every single time they would cut back to his like redemption arc storyline, she'd be like, "Skip it, move on. I don't care."
I was here for his villain arc. I think he's kind of hot. Is that weird? That actor.
I disagree, but you know what? He's like a married man and a father of 2, so some people do.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for weird little men. This has been like very established.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about Steve Buscemi, so
Yeah.
fair. Someone who I find very hot. But you know who I think is the underrated hottest on that show? Anthony Stewart Head.
He is hot.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
Like, I never found him hot on Buffy, but all of a sudden he's a little bit older and he's wearing all black and he's an asshole on Ted Lasso, and I'm like, oh no.
Do you know when I did find him hot on Buffy, which is like sort of cringe, is when there would be like a spell or something that reverted people to their teenage selves, and he would be like in a black leather jacket.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
Ripper
greaser
era.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, he's so hot when he's doing that. Yeah, when he has sex with Buffy's mom on a police car.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hot. He's awesome. I love Anthony Stewart Head so much. Great. He's incredible. Repo the Genetic Opera is underrated. He's a delight. But I also watched movies a lot this week. I caught up on a handful of things I've been putting off for a long time and rewatched something I've been dying to. So I finally like completed Noah Baumbach's filmography.
Oh.
That's the response.
Say more about that.
By finally watching Margot at the Wedding.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's very mean and very funny and very sad. Nicole Kidman plays an estranged sister and like mildly famous short story author who goes to her sister Jennifer Jason Leigh's wedding on the East Coast, where they had grown up as kids, where they haven't seen each other in years, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's getting married to Jack Black, and it sounds like a rip-roaring mid-2000s raunchy comedy. And it is a very depressing Eric Romer-esque. It got like harder and harder to watch because Nicole Kidman is ostensibly our main character. Her teenage son is kind of like a secondary thing. But like the more the movie goes on, the more like her relationship with her son is super upsetting.
Yeah.
Her like. There's one point in the movie where Jennifer Jason Leigh is like, your mom's got borderline, you know? And I'm like, yeah, she does. Holy shit. And like Nicole Kidman's like probably also an alcoholic in it too. It is like rough. But Jack Black is so good. Syrian Hines is so good in it. Jennifer Jason Leigh is great. We get a surprise John Turturro for a little bit. I miss that kind of mid-2000s indie movie.
Yeah.
We don't get those anymore. Like, here's a dysfunctional family.
We're going to mumblecore.
Have one scene, one like location, and we're going to shoot it on film. And it's going to be like super personal. We kind of don't get stuff like that anymore. I enjoyed it.
I'm not the biggest Noah Baumbach person. My favorite is Frances Ha, and that's half Greta Gerwig's. So
it is half Greta Gerwig's. I love that movie.
I love Frances Ha.
I loved White Noise.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So much. I feel like you're gonna like White Noise a lot.
Yeah, that's what I hear, because it's like very explosive and like stylish and very different than most of his stuff, right?
It feels like nothing he's ever made before. It is much closer to Brian De Palma or Steven Spielberg or Ken Russell in terms of its like formal execution, and it is stupendous. I watched it with a bunch of friends of mine, and one of my friends is like a film bro kind of dude who does not like Noah Baumbach's movies. I think he liked Francis Ha, but everything else he's just like not into it. And after we watched White Noise together, he kind of did the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia newsflash asshole bit of being like, he's been able to make these kind of movies this whole time and has been choosing not to.
I know.
It's very funny. But I finally rewatched, speaking of Ken Russell, one of Ken Russell's most acclaimed 80s movies that my partner had never seen. Crimes of Passion with...
I've never seen that.
Kathleen Turner and Anthony Perkins. You're gonna fucking love this movie so much, Josh. It's on the Criterion Channel right now as a part of their erotic thrillers section. Kathleen Turner plays a like businesswoman by day, sex worker by night.
That's so Ken Russell.
Dons a like bleach blonde, blunt fringe wig, and goes by China Blue, and like enacts all of these very specific sexual scenarios for her Johns. Like she has very like she plays like little air stewardess for one guy. She has insanely rough sex with a police officer in one scene that is like cruising level insane.
Oh my god.
A nightstick is used very judiciously. She has one client who hires her to like for him to chase her and then like accost her. It's like super fucked up. Anthony Perkins plays a like strung out priest who like walks up and down the part of the like the skeezy part of the city where she lives her nocturnal life, and he's like constantly huffing poppers and like in like watching like peep shows and like being obsessed with her. And apparently Anthony Perkins got into method acting for this movie and would always be huffing poppers right before he takes. Which, you know, I believe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But then all of this is kind of juxtaposed against a very like shitty suburban house husband who is married to Annie Potts from Ghostbusters.
Oh,
this
Annie
is the same
Potts.
year as Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And who like gets hired to start following Kathleen Turner around because her boss at her corporate job is like, there's something about her. I don't trust her. She's too professional. She's got to have a secret. And he becomes obsessed with her China Blue persona. And so you get these like insanely like Dario Argento lit like sexcapade Kathleen Turner, Anthony Perkins scenes, which are unhinged Ken Russell at his best. And then you get these almost Noah Baumbach-esque, like very dry, straightforward 80s, like suburban marriage problems with this piece of shit guy and a very put upon Annie Potts. And every single one of those scenes, I was like, let's get back to the good stuff. It's very, very good. And
I do love Annie Potts, though.
Anthony Perkins has almost never been hotter as a, like, grungy, gross priest. There's a lot of allusions to Hitchcock Psycho. It's...
Ooh, that sounds good.
So fucking fun. If you like sleazy 80s, or if you like Body Double, if you like... Of course,
yeah.
Any of those De Palma movies, or Layer of the White Worm, or Altered States in those Ken Russell movies, Crimes of Passion is so fun.
That sounds great.
Highly recommend.
Well, let's get into it. Today we are covering one of Drusilla's favorite movies of all time, and next week we'll be doing my favorite movie of all time. Both of these are movies that I would say we've kind of been putting off because we love them so much. So we're getting to...
mentioned on the show a lot.
Like 1,000 times, yes. So, to start off with Drusilla's favorite, We are doing from 1962, directed by Herc Harvey, Carnival of Souls.
Good luck, Mary. Stop by and see us the next time you're in.
Thank you, but I'm never coming back.
I don't know about that girl.
How do you mean?
Day before yesterday, she was the only one of 3 girls to survive an accident. You'd think she'd feel a little something. Maybe in her place, I'd do the same thing. Just pick up life again. But I still say she's behaving strangely.
I have no desire for this.
Cue organ music.
We almost used that organ music as our show intro back in the day when we were thinking about starting the show.
The music in this movie is so incredible. Every time I sit down to write a new project, it's one of the pieces of music that I put on to get me in the right headspace to write. So Carnival of Souls, an uber independent DIY mid-60s nightmare from nowhere kind of movie. Huge Twilight Zone vibes.
Yeah. I watched the pan and scan version on Prime, which I don't recommend because it has been beautifully restored by Criterion. I just don't actually have Criterion Channel right now, and I don't own the Blu-ray. So it was free on Prime, and I'd seen the beautiful version before, so I was like, let's watch the ugly public domain version for once. And it was quite ugly, and it was pan and scan, so it was in square format. And in that way, with the organ music, it felt very much like watching Dark Shadows, which I love.
It is like a film. They have we'll get into it in a minute, but the directors had big art film aspirations when they made the movie. Yeah. But it weirdly fits in with this late night local television mid-century kind of idea of between the channels kind of movie. Yeah. You were up late as a kid, and after a Twilight Zone marathon, you couldn't go to bed. You turned the TV back on, and the dial was in between station 2 and station 3, and this thing just came on.
It kind of reminds me, to me, it's almost like a cousin film to Night of the Living Dead, because they're both public domain movies for a long time. So you would watch them exactly like that. They would just be on TV in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of the night. It's a regional film. This was shot in Lawrence, Kansas and Salt Lake City, Utah for $33,000 in 1962. So it's in black and white, shot, I assume, on 16 millimeter. Maybe not. Maybe it was 35. But, it's got that same look as Night of the Living Dead. Black and white, beautiful, contrasty film. Feels very handmade. Mm-hmm. This has a different feeling because it's gothy, and it's got the pipe organ and stuff. So it feels a little bit more like a Hammer kind of goth vibe than Night of the Living Dead. But I don't know. It just has that sort of sensation to me. But
they were made about a year apart from each other. And they both kind of gained cult followings. Obviously, one was more directly influential than the other, but Carnival of Souls is one that has been name checked time and time again as a highly influential movie, and is, for me, the single most influential movie I've ever seen.
It's one of those movies like Night of the Living Dead where if a character in a movie is watching a horror film at home, it's going to be Night of the Living Dead, or often it's Carnival of Souls. A lot of these images are used that way, especially of the carnival itself and the creepy people with white face paint like that. I've seen that in so many other movies in my lifetime that I had seen so much of this movie before I'd seen this movie.
So let's go back a bit. Mm-hmm. I found Carnival of Souls when I was a freshman in high school, as I found many movies at the time, because I was going to my public library and checking out anything that said the Criterion Collection on it. And all I knew about this movie was the cover art, which was the original poster, which you love. I love so much. It's this gorgeous painting of Candice Hilligoss, this woman, which, by the way, looks nothing like the actress in the movie.
No.
Her outfit looks nothing like her outfit in the movie. Who's looking behind her in very classic
It makes it look like a period piece.
Novel pose. Yeah.
Like a Mario Bava period piece.
It's like in like lurid colors. This movie's in black and white. There's like blues and purples and greens and pinks all flowing behind her. There's this big kind of like dome-topped building behind her. All these people in black suits and dresses kind of dancing in the background. And then there is a car partially submerged in water with a woman inside of it at the bottom of the frame. And then to the left of that is a floating head with of a man with red eyes, kind of a red accent on part of his face. And then his hair is kind of curling up into devil horns a little bit. And so when I first saw this cover, I didn't know what this movie was. I didn't know what genre it was. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew it said Carnival of Souls, and it looked like that, and it had a Criterion logo on it. So I thought that this was like a 1950s, like, French drama or musical or romance or something like that.
Right.
I thought this was like a Jean Cocteau or Jean Renoir movie. And I was like, cool. And then I just took it off the shelf with like 10 other things. And then when I went home, I looked at the back to read it because I just took whatever. And the back cover was a close up of the ghostly man's face covered with a green filter on it. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Nope. And I just remember putting it on one day late at night, and there's no opening logos to this movie. It just starts with this drag race scene, sort of. And it just felt like I had missed something or I'd come in the middle of something. And this movie worked on all cylinders for me. It creeped me the fuck out. I had a hard time watching it. I wasn't super into horror yet. I was only dipping my toe into horror at the time. And so the images of the man's face and of the kind of ethereal creeping man throughout the movie were super strong and effective for me. And the ultimate twist at the end of the movie got me super hard and I thought was brilliant. And this movie just lived in my brain for years and years and years and years. The first short film I ever made was heavily influenced by this. A film class that I took we were given an assignment to make a film that was a chase. So you would one character would follow another, or the character would follow someone, and it had to be 10 minutes long, and you had to shoot it on this camera, and you just had to use a couple different camera tricks and editing tricks to make it look like characters were going to different places and things like that. And so I shot it in black and white, and I had a friend come over, and I put him in a suit and a tie, and I painted his face white and smudged a bunch of eyeliner around his eyes and made him look just like Herc Harvey's character in Carnival of Souls and chased my other friend through the woods, essentially. In suburban Indiana.
That's so funny.
I love this movie so fucking much. It taught me how to make movies. There's scenes in this that they edit it a little too late, and you can see the actors start to move.
Yeah, totally.
And there's all not all the makeup's good, not all the performances are good. A lot of the lines are looped in ADR. But
the sounds of her heels on pavement are so wild.
They don't match even remotely. But there's such a somehow it all adds up and works.
Yeah, I think that's part of the charm. And there is a aspect of this that's a bit kitsch because it's from the early 60s. It's very cheaply made. It's a little hokey, but it is still really effective. It does cast a spell on you. It is creepy. Yeah, I love this movie. I saw it during a time that I'm weirdly nostalgic for in a way I never expected, which was the early Netflix DVD rental days. That was such a time when I saw so many of my favorite movies during that time because you would read these blog posts about like the 10 weirdest movies you can rent from Netflix or whatever. So I saw this, I saw Don't Deliver Us from Evil that way. I saw so many art house movies because I would get like 3 movies at a time and I'd be like, here's the show that I'm watching and here's 2 movies that I always meant to see and didn't, or like, here's 2 movies that I hear are like outrageously weird or whatever. And so that's how I saw this movie. And I really loved that. Synopsis wise, I guess I'll just say, this movie is about a woman named Mary, played by Candice Hilleglass, who in the very opening scene is in a drag racing accident where her car and the other girls that she's with falls off a bridge into the river below, and she is the sole survivor of that accident. Or is she?
Bum, bum, bum.
So she survives the car accident and she's a pipe organist for churches. She's been given a job in Salt Lake City, so she leaves Lawrence, Kansas to move there and be a church pipe organist. She's staying in a boarding house with this lecherous man named John across the hall who's like trying to flirt with her. She's having all these weird experiences of this weird man with a pale white face following her. There are times when people can't seem to see her or hear her. And she becomes obsessed with this abandoned carnival by the sea. It's not the sea because it's
Salt
Utah.
Lake.
Salt Lake, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
This abandoned carnival by the lake. And it all is coming together for a big reveal, which, spoiler, is that she was dead the whole time.
Yeah.
We spoil things here now. This movie's like 60 years old, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, this movie's even better if you know that going in. Like,
yeah,
it's a great twist if you've seen the movie and you don't know what it's going to be, and then they pull the car out of the lake at the end of the movie and she's still in the car.
her body is still inside.
Kills me every time.
Yeah.
Is effective for me every time. But then also, when I rewatch it, and I know that going in, it makes all of the other scenes more profound and a bit scarier and a bit more, like, spooky.
Yeah, and you were right to point out Twilight Zone. It is like a Twilight Zone story and reveal. It feels very much like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, throughout the movie, I, like, would not be surprised to, like, pan away to Rod Serling being like, Mary's lost. Will she be found? Only in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
This is one of the first like major independent American horror movies. Like, period. Night of the Living Dead would of course spark things off, but this was around the same time that John Cassavetes was making Shadows and Faces, like the first couple like important American independent films, period. So this is a really, really, really important time for independent filmmaking. Like, Roger Corman and all of that kind of schlockier H.G. Lewis driving kind of stuff was starting to happen around this time, and in like the following years as drive-ins were popping up everywhere. But Carnival of Souls feels like the Citizen Kane of those movies to me. Like, I love Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead is incredible. Carnival of Souls is the one that I come back to, though, because it feels uniquely American in a really specific, important way. So she falls, like, the movie starts with a car accident, and the majority of the movie is her driving to Salt Lake City with these gorgeous shots of the Midwest in the 1960s, which, spoiler alert, is how the Midwest basically still looks.
It's also very much looks like Psycho, which came later than this. Like, all the scenes of her driving in Psycho
came 2 years before this.
Oh, did it? I thought Psycho... Oh, it's 1959, isn't it?
1960.
60, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But it's very, very, very similar shots of, like, a distressed woman alone in a mid-century car with, like, a single light source in the car driving at night. But there's a really famous urban legend and story that got told a lot around this time as radio plays and radio dramas, and was turned into a Twilight Zone episode. But it's this story called The Hitchhiker. Yeah. Which is one of the most, like, uniquely American and mid-century horror stories ever, which is about a woman who leaves on a trip from New York City to the West Coast. She wants to drive cross country before she gets to a new house or a new job or college or something like that. She leaves her family and friends and hops in the car, and midway, like I think outside of Pennsylvania or something like that, sees a car accident and slows down and is very like concerned about it, but then keeps going. And as she drives along, she keeps seeing this same hitchhiker, and she's very creeped out by him and refuses to pick him up. And then 2 states over, she sees him again. He keeps being ahead of her somehow, despite the fact that she refuses to pick him up and doesn't see anyone else pick him up. And then eventually, finally, when she freaks out, thinks she's being followed, she breaks down and allows him to get in the car with her, only for him to like say nothing and disappear, and for her to crash, and then the like twist realization is that she died in that crash in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And this has been like the spirit of death, like trying to follow her, kind of Final Destination style.
Yep.
It's such a spooky story, and it gets at so much of this kind of uncharted American fear in the mid-50s after the war, when the interstates were coming up and this idea of the middle class like splendor was happening, that I just really, really love. But also there's this idea of like highway hypnosis that and this movie play into. This movie has a very specific rhythm and hypnotic quality, especially the entire score is only on the organ, this kind of church organ that gets very spooky and very surreal. It feels like a spell you get lulled into and pulled under.
It's interesting that you call this out as being like a uniquely American film, which I think is true. And yet, Herc Harvey, in his mind, he's referencing all of these like European filmmakers, right?
Yes.
Like
there's a quote from
Bergman
him that says that he wants it to have the feel of a Cocteau and the look of a Bergman or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is awesome!
Yeah, it's so sad that this is his only movie. He did make, so he was a professional, he made educational films for a living. And so he made God knows how many of those before making this. So he did have experience with a camera and with editing and all that sort of stuff, but in a very different way. This is his first and last feature film, which is such a bummer.
He, the writer, and almost all of the crew worked in industrials, and they made, movies on like how to operate a tractor.
Right.
First, start your tractor kind of things for years, and all of them loved working together. They knew they wanted to make movies, not the shorts.
Yeah.
And they saved together all of their money from making these industrials to make a feature, and he wanted to make an art film, but they thought they could make more money making a horror movie. And the writer, John Clifford, had, or maybe Herc Harvey, one of the two of them had been driving through the Midwest, and driven past the Solitaire Pavilion in Salt Lake City, which at the time was just abandoned. And it's this huge turn of the century, like former bathhouse that like burned down, was rebuilt, and then the lake receded, and then burned down, and then was rebuilt, and has had this insanely tumultuous history. It was rebuilt again after this movie was made. I think it burned down again and was rebuilt. It is currently a music venue.
Oh, cool.
And last time I checked a few years ago, I think like Charlie XCX was playing there.
Oh my god. Is Utah considered the Midwest?
I feel like it's more like Great Plains.
Yeah.
Kansas is the Midwest.
Kansas for sure is. I think of Utah as the West in sort of the same way as like Wyoming and stuff, but I don't know.
I just think of it as Mormon country.
Totally Mormon country. I wondered during the movie if it was Mormon country then. I guess it must have been.
It was.
Because it was settled by John Smith and his people in the old-timey days, right? So
yeah, when Jesus came there.
Jesus in the form of John Smith?
Yeah,
With his magic glasses?
Yeah. And underwear, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was made for $33,000 in 1962, which is about $330,000 now, which is very small budget. Anything under $5 million is considered low budget.
And this is
today
super low. Candace Hilligoss was a New York actress who had done theater. I think the same thing could be said of Sidney Berger, who plays the kind of lecherous
John
neighbor, John.
Who's really good in this. They're both very good in this, I think.
She's incredible. She has a scene where he's kind of accosting her and she gets a flash of this nightmare man that's been following her. And her breakdown is incredible.
Yeah.
Her performance is so good. But almost everyone else is non-actors.
Do you know who else is quite good as the landlady of the boarding house? That's a very charming performance.
She's very good. And you know what? You can take as many baths as you want. She's not the kind to get fussy over that.
Do you know what? I went down a rabbit hole with that a little bit because I was like, this is something I'd wondered before. And this is the first time I thought to look it up is like, whatever happened to boarding houses and rooming houses as a thing? Because it's so common in old movies from like or books even from like the 30s to the 60s for someone to live in a boarding house.
Even in 70s movies, you see that a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on in Nashville.
Yes, yeah. So what happened was in the 19th century, so the 1800s, they were so common that a third of Americans in big cities lived in boarding houses, and it was considered very middle class and normal. But in the mid-century, when this is happening, that's when you have the white flight, the 50s and 60s. White people are leaving the cities and moving to the suburbs. People are richer now because it's post-war, and so people are buying homes and renting apartments more. And so what happens is that leaves the rooming houses and boarding houses for poor people and a lot of people of color in the cities to live in. So then they become stigmatized. They become associated with poverty, and then they start to become illegal. So there are now zoning laws in most places that allow that cap the number of non-relatives you can have living in your house. So there's actually a movement right now. They just legalized rooming houses and boarding houses in my home state of Washington because there's a housing crisis.
Yeah.
And homelessness. And this is like a clear solution to that, or a partial solution at least. So they should be legal again. They could be really useful and have been really useful to us in the past.
It's insane that they were made illegal.
I thought it was so interesting.
Oh my God. I never knew that. I never knew that there was like a direct reason why they went out of fashion.
It's to punish poor people and people of color, like it always is.
Like it always is. Yeah. It's very clear and evident in this movie that it is both a like normal-ish thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's also an older thing to do. It's not in fashion anymore, and it is because she is not making a lot of money.
Yeah, she's a church organist.
It's very a little like looked down upon.
Yeah. It's already out of style by 1961.
It's out of style and it's old fashioned and it's looked down upon. John, who is her co-inhabitant, sort of
drinks in the morning, works in a warehouse.
He works in a warehouse. When she says that she went to college to become an organist, he has one of my favorite lines of all time, which is, "Yeah, I could have gone to college." But when he pulls out a bit of whiskey or bourbon to put in their coffee in the morning, and he says, "Employers like it because it makes me a happy worker." And I was like, "Oh my fucking God." That's one of the most disgustingly depressing capitalist sentiments I've ever heard in my entire life.
For sure.
I mean, I love this movie so much, and I loved it from it scared me a lot when the first time I saw it, and then over the years I've liked it for formalist reasons. Mm-hmm. From filmmaking standpoints, I found it outrageously influential and super inspiring. And I would do anything in my power to be able to make a movie like Carnival of Souls. But rewatching it now, I relate to Mary so much.
She's a good character. I mean, in some ways she reminds me of Barbara from Night of the Living Dead, but she's so much better because she's not annoying like Barbara is.
Barbara is annoying. Mary is very self-possessed. Mm-hmm. She's intelligent. She's educated. She knows herself.
She wants to be alone, which is relatable.
She wants to be alone. She is not religious.
Yeah. My favorite moment, it's so iconic, near the beginning when she's leaving her original hometown, the priest that she's talking to says, well, stop by and see us sometime. And she turns around and she goes, thank you, but I'm never coming back here again. And exits. It's like such a diva exit. She has no reason to be, that we know of, to be so angry at this hometown or this priest. It's so good. It makes me guffaw.
It's so good. But also, I relate to her.
Yeah,
Come on.
Exactly.
She's too big for this hometown. She's too big for Salt Lake City. Like, she's going places.
This is a bitch who just wants to take baths and read a book and play the organ, and like nothing is more relatable than that.
She's just a spooky bitch. And there's a scene where she's like out on a date, essentially, with John, the creepy neighbor.
Kind of against her will. She's
Very
like
much against her will, because
arraigned.
he's been, harassing her this whole time. And he's sitting there, like, grumpy, drinking a beer that she's not, like, talking with him. And he's like, you don't like dancing? You don't like drinking? You don't like me? You don't like anything? And a scene before that, she'd been fired from the church for not being religious enough and for playing what was dubbed sacrilegious music on the organ, which is just like kind of spooky organ music. So she doesn't like God or beer or dancing with creepy men, and she just likes to play spooky organ music. Leave her alone.
That date scene is so relatable to me because there have been so many times in my life where like a man was attracted to me and pursued me and then realized when he got me that I was boring. And I said that to them the whole time. Like, I don't like to go out. I don't like to drink. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I just want to read a book, sit in bed, do my little hobbies around my own house, and that's how I like it. Like, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the exact same way.
She's great and incredible. And the entire movie, everyone's just like, she's so strange.
Yeah.
What could she be thinking? What's wrong with her? The hysterics have to stop. I mean, granted, she is also
hysterical.
She's also suffering from PTSD from being in a car accident.
From being, in fact, dead.
From being dead, yeah. And is
the greatest trauma, you might say, is to be dead.
And not know it.
Yeah.
Though I do love, and I would like to try this move, she goes to get her car worked on. The guy's like, it's a transmission. I'll take care of it. She stays in her car on the lift and dissociates while up there, wakes back up in her car, and then, like, speeds out with a fixed transmission without paying.
Perfect.
I need to try that move. My transmission needs work.
You know that would work. They'd be like, ma'am, are you playing dead right now? Like, wake up. You have to pay. Ma'am, we know that you're awake.
Ma'am, just because you're dead in a river 2 states over doesn't mean you can't pay your bill. I don't know. I love her. I think Candice Hilligoss's performance is incredible.
She's great.
So she keeps being drawn to the Saltaire Pavilion. And she like drives past it, and that's when she first sees the like ghostly visage of a man in her car window, which is such a fucking cool effect. And the way they built it up. That's such a cool
shot. I guess it's just a mirror on that side of the car or something to show her reflection. But it's so well done.
It's so fucking cool. The ghostly man is played by the film's director, Herc Harvey.
I didn't know that.
It's such a cute performance. He's just like stock-stilled, big eyes, and just kind of stands there looking creepy throughout the movie whenever he pops up. But the way they kind of cut around his presence is... There's a scene where she sees him downstairs over the railing in the boarding house, and then runs away, locks herself in the room, and then hears footsteps coming, and it's done very slowly, and she like goes back, locks the latch, and like still hears the footsteps, and then the like knob is jiggling, and it finally opens up a little bit, and it's the like woman who runs the boarding house bringing her sandwich makings.
Yeah.
I just think it's so precious, and that woman then like refuses to believe that she is seeing a different man in the house. And she's like, please, I have trouble enough sleeping by it. Don't scare me that way.
She's not, in the wrong necessarily.
I mean,
I probably would feel similarly if I were her.
But yeah, throughout the movie, I mean, she keeps being haunted by this figure. One of my favorite things, so at the end, she finally goes back to Solitaire and explores it in depth, and it's so beautiful. The camera just loves this place.
Yeah.
And her just ethereally walking through the space and then coming across, like, the dance hall.
A carnival of souls, you might say.
Full of these people in, like, black dresses and suits and ties and the, like, white face paint and stuff like that. All dancing crazy fast. Mm-hmm. And the main man, Herc Harvey, is dancing with her, but she's watching from afar. And the version of her he's dancing with is white-faced with black eyes, and they chase her out of the pavilion and kind of, like, mob her on the, like, beach. And then it cuts to the next day at the same spot, and the, like, town sheriff and the psychiatrist and the priest are all, like, walking up, and they're like, yeah, her car's still out front, and the footprints go up to here, and then they just stop, and it, like, cuts to the sand, and there's, like, all of this part of the sand that's been disturbed, and then a handprint, and nothing else, and then it just cuts to the psychiatrist and the priest sharing a look, but they don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is such a, like, gorgeous, effective scene, and then is immediately followed by back in Kansas, they dredge the lake, and they pull out the car, and you see the 3 girls, including her body.
Yeah.
There's just something, I don't know, I think the religious element to this movie is super incredible and interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, the footsteps in the sand.
Oh, yeah.
Being an element at the end, to do that in front of the priest is really kind of funny to me, since there's that religious thing of, like, I went walking and I saw a set of footprints in the sand that came from nowhere, and that was like Jesus.
The piece of art that was in your grandma's bathroom. That's like, that's when I carried you, or whatever is the punchline, but I don't quite remember how the setup goes.
Yeah, something like that. And, like, I don't know, like, forcing both the psychiatrist and the priest to, like, deal head on with this piece of the supernatural. And also the idea that, like, both of them didn't know how to help this girl and did not believe her and kept trying to, like, force one way of viewing the world upon her. And she was a ghost the whole fucking time. Like, you gotta have some egg on your face now, psychiatrist. You gotta have some egg on your face now, priest.
That's so funny. And that's why I don't believe in psychiatry. I'm kidding.
Buy Dianetics now.
Free stress test at BlyHouse.com.
Listen, had Mary gotten her thetans checked, this never would have happened.
Amazing. Anything else to say about Carnival of Souls?
My only big thing other to say is I love this movie so much, and my love for this movie is why I hate Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, they did this movie?
They did Carnival of Souls.
Aye.
And this movie is a specific kind of alchemy that I love and works for me so well. And I don't know. Just picking on movies to nitpick and pick on them, I don't find funny. I don't like watching bad movies to watch bad movies. And I'm a
fan of all of that, to be honest, but I love this movie and I don't think it deserves it. That's unfair.
And that's the other thing, is the moment that I realized that they had done Carnival of Souls, I was like, oh, have they done other movies that I think are bad and funny that other people love? And it made me feel terrible. So I don't know. I don't like riff tracks and that kind of stuff. And it's because I love stuff like Carnival of Souls. And I don't like to see it made fun of and derided, because I think it's really powerful.
I remember when we did the Ukrainian film V early on, we discovered that a lot of that filmmaker's movies were covered on Mystery Science Theater 3000, because they're weird looking, because they're old, they're Soviet, and they're Ukrainian. So I do feel your sentiment.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's very easy to just be like, what's this? And make fun of it, rather than is to like do the research and engage with what an artist is intending to do. And if then it doesn't work and it's shitty, I would much rather see Mystery Science Theater 3000, but they're doing Gone with the Wind. I'd rather see Mystery Science Theater 3000, but they're doing Birth of a Nation. Like, there are movies that should be made fun of and derided.
The only thing, I mean, I will say that, like, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is, like, one of my doors, right? It is, like, it was one of my gateways to
a gateway.
Cool B movies. And I also, as I have to just represent mean people, I do think it's fun. For my community, I do think it's fun to like make fun of things. It's like a joy, you know. So, but whether you need to do that publicly on a TV show is another question. But I don't know. I felt like the need to stand up for the show a little bit.
I'm just saying, MST3K, but it's Gone with the Wind.
That's a great idea.
I would, if it's stuff like that, I would be so fucking on board. Like, I would executive produce and host that show. Like,
I would love to see it, but it's like really mainstream schmaltzy movies like Ordinary People or what's that movie?
Collateral Beauty.
Yeah, exactly. What's the movie where from the 90s where Robin Williams is like dead and heaven is like all painterly? I don't know.
What Dreams May Be?
Yes, what Dreams May Come.
I haven't seen that. I really want to.
Terrible.
I think but do Patch Adams?
Yeah, Patch Adams is a great one.
Yeah.
Like, do those kinds of movies. Those movies that cost millions of dollars and are a total waste of talent and time.
Yeah. Make fun of that stuff. Not something that people like put their heart and soul into making as an independent production.
Totally. Well, let's play our favorite game, Have They Seen It?, where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. This is a goth classic, very influential. Do you think Marilyn Manson has seen Carnival of Souls?
I think Marilyn Manson has Carnival of Souls projected on his, like, wall of his, like, room while he's, like, trying to seduce underage girls. So, yeah, probably.
Oh, no, is he that kind of person? Oh,
he sucks.
Marilyn I kind Manson? Of have a vague sense. I'm not a fan of his music, even, so I don't really know that much about him.
He's been accused of sexual assault a lot lately.
I'm sorry to have brought him up.
But you know who's who's the, like, polar opposite of him and who's awesome and who has seen this movie? Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Rob Zombie, agree. Like 8,000% has seen this movie and loves this movie.
When I was a teenager, it was the 90s, and the goths of the 90s were so embarrassing and ick that I was not goth. If I had been a teenager in the 80s or the 2000s, I absolutely would have been goth, but in the 90s, it was like, no, not this.
Yeah, a little bit. That's fair.
So I don't like Marilyn Manson. I don't like Rob Zombie's music, but I do like his movies quite a bit more.
I love Rob Zombie's music, and I feel like I can get you to come around. This is was a staple of late night TV in the 1960s. It is very gorgeous. It is very surreal. It is very strange. And it makes me think of a lot of other strange and surreal independent American filmmakers. Do you think that David Lynch has seen Carnival of Souls?
I would say yes, because it's old enough that he would have seen it. We've talked many times about how he hasn't watched any movies post 1976 or whatever. So I would say yes. And what's more, I think he would like this quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those movies that he would love so much. I feel like he doesn't remember the name of it or anything like that, but I feel like if you got him talking about, like, scary movies, he'd be like, you know what's the scariest movie?
I love your David Lynch impression.
The Organist, the one about the lady who's playing the piano, and the man's creeping up on her the whole time. Gorgeous picture.
And that's how this existed for many people for many decades. It's like something they saw on late night television and kind of only half remembered. So that's sort of the space that this occupies for a lot of people.
I feel like Lynch would have seen it that way. Like, you know, in Pennsylvania in the 60s, like painting with the TV on in the corner, would have loved this.
Do you think that filmmaker Mike Flanagan has seen this. I don't know why I thought of him, but he just popped into my head.
I feel like Mike Flanagan loves this movie.
I think so too.
I feel like the vibe of this, and also like a horror movie as like an exploration into depression, melancholy, and PTSD, and like the idea of like life after death. He fucking loves this shit. I feel like you can't make Haunting of a Hill House and not have a strong appreciation for Carnival of Souls.
Do you know what I felt was so... people really disliked Haunting of Bly Manor in a way that I don't understand, because I loved it deeply.
I loved it.
Me too. I thought it was so beautiful. And I think people just aren't aren't familiar with the Gothic tropes, maybe, because that's what it was doing Gothic romance. And I think that's a trope that people don't really understand maybe anymore. But I thought it was so beautiful. I
was trepidatious to watch it because it's based on Turning of the Screw, which was turned into the Jack Clayton movie The Innocents, which is super famous from the 1960s.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a big fan of. Like, the cinematography is gorgeous, but it didn't work for me when I saw it.
I haven't seen that, but I'm a fan of Turn of the Screw, and I also like The Others, which is also inspired by Turn of the Screw.
I love The Others. But the creepy kids didn't work for me in The Innocents. And so I was worried when Bly Manor was announced that's what it was working off of. And I was like, I don't know, I might not like it. And then I was like, oh, I love it so much.
Yeah. It's more slow than Haunting of Hill House, but I like that. I like slow stories. If they're like deliberately paced and doing a thing, then I'm super into it.
The ending is so incredible. Bly Manor.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Loved it. I also love Midnight Mass so much.
I love Midnight Mass.
Fuck, I love that.
I need to see The Midnight Club, his other one.
Yeah, me too, the YA one.
Yeah, the kind of like Christopher Pike one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it and I feel really bad, but it's like kids with terminal cancer telling ghost stories.
I know.
And I was like,
You gotta work yourself up to it, I think.
Yeah, and considering that every single one of his kind of horror shows makes me want to like cry my eyes out. I'm always like, okay. We have mentioned a certain other piece of Americana horror and supernatural sci-fi that was super prevalent around the time that this movie was made and released, a lot on this episode. Do you think that Rod Serling ever took a look at Carnival of Souls?
No, I don't think he ever saw this. I don't know why. And I'm not an expert on him, but I feel like he was too high profile and this is too low profile kind of at the same time.
I can see
that they like would have missed each other somehow.
I can see that. Yeah. It never would have like gotten to his desk. He never would have. Yeah. He's not going to drive-ins in 1962.
Exactly.
He's not like watching a late night cable at this time.
Maybe later in life, but this was kind of like Lost, wasn't it? I mean, it was like sort of in that public domain space, and like there was no home video back then. So I
think like 1988, 1989, it was like rediscovered.
It got a remake.
You got a remake in the 90s.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I know nothing about it. I've heard it's terrible. It was produced by Wes Craven.
Oh.
But I do know that in the late 80s, it had a the Carnival of Souls had a resurgence and like a small restoration at the time. The old Criterion DVD that I own has like video from the like 1989 premiere, I guess, like re-premiere with like Herc Harvey and Candice Hilligoss, and they're all there and they're like so proud of their movie, and it's so fucking precious.
Love that.
And so it had a bit of a resurgence then. And I feel like in the late 80s, early 90s, it started to pop up on home video, on VHS, and was discovered more that way, and being programmed by like Elvira and Joe Bob Briggs and regional people like that at the time. I know Elvira played this one a lot, and I do know that a lot of like lounge act bands from the early 90s were influenced by the music to this. There is a great band from the 90s called Combustible Edison.
Mm-hmm.
That did lounge music that Lounge and swing music in the 90s was a very specific time.
It was the theme of my prom, Drew. My prom was Swing Time 99 because I graduated in 1999.
That's awesome.
It was our prom theme.
That's awesome. Bowling shirts and swing music.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Combustible Edison was awesome. I loved them. And on their 1994 album, I Swinger, they have a song called Carnival of Souls. That's
the
influenced by the
aesthetic
song
of Carnival of Souls is very music video. It's very MTV ahead of MTV.
It's very like Smashing Pumpkins music. Like the way the Smashing Pumpkins were doing like Georges Méliès videos and stuff like that. It's,
Totally.
right in there. I feel like this movie kind of like peaked at cultural resurgence in the 90s. And that's why a lot of people like Mike Flanagan probably would have seen it around then. And like, I know Patton Oswalt's a big fan, Edgar Wright. I feel like a lot of those guys and a little bit more like
folks.
Gen X people discovered around that time. But I mean, Edgar Wright has direct allusions to it in Last Night in Soho. In terms of the kind of depiction of the like ghostly men in that.
Yeah.
I think it's time for another resurgence.
Yeah.
That was like 30 years after the movie had come out. We're now like 30 years since then.
I know.
So let's have another round of everyone go watch Carnival of Souls and go make art about it.
You can see this aesthetic even in the work of Tim Burton, to be honest.
Oh,
The work of Neil Gaiman, who isn't even a filmmaker. You know what I mean? Like, it is so influential.
Susie and the Banshees.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, we love Carnival of Souls. If you liked this episode, please rate it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram, bloodhousepod. Drusilla, where are you?
You can go find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. There's new posters up there and new covers coming very, very soon. I'm also on Letterboxd. If you search for Drusilla Adeline, I'm over there. You can see what I've been watching, and you can find all of my silly little Letterboxd reviews and lists. I'm also on Instagram at HideSister. What about you, Josh? Where are you lurking? Or are you still in the bottom of a lake in Kansas?
I wish I was. But unfortunately, I'm still at Joshua Conkle on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Now, we have watched one of your favorite movies that we've been putting off. Next week, we are watching my number one very favorite movie of all time. What is it?
We are watching from acclaimed pedophile Roman Polanski, Rosemary's Baby.
This is no dream. This is really happening. Can't wait.